Welcome to this tutorial on Premiere Pro tips and tricks. In this video, we'll be sharing some of our favorite techniques and shortcuts to help you edit faster and more efficiently in Premiere Pro. If you have a lot of bins in your project and most of them are expanded, it takes up a lot of room in your project panel. If you want to collapse all of them, you can click on each one of them. But if you click on any triangle of an expanded bin while holding Alt or Option, all the bins will be collapsed. Holding Alt and clicking on one of the bins, and all of them are collapsed. If you need to have all the bins opened up and they're all collapsed, just hold Alt or Option and click on the triangle, and now they're all expanded. If you've clicked on this link selection icon, you can see that your audio and your video is linked together. But if you want to unlink your audio and video because you want to cut the video part of the clip and let the audio remain, instead of unlinking the audio and video, just hold down the Alt or Option and trim the video separately. After you release the key, it goes back to being linked. I can also override the link selection in the source monitor. I have an in point and an out point in my source monitor. All I had to do was hold down the Alt or Option key and come over here to where the out point is, and I see the trim tool, and I could just trim either my audio or my video. I'll trim the video and see the audio and video is split. And then when I add the clip to my timeline, you can see here it is where I was able to trim the video and it did not affect the audio, just like we did in the timeline before. So now what I want to do is I want to quickly replace a clip in the timeline. I'm going to replace this clip in the timeline with a clip that I already have loaded in my source monitor. So this clip right here in the timeline, I'm going to replace that. I'm going to put my in point right here. I'm going to hit I. And now if I hold down the Alt or Option key and I click and drag this clip from the source monitor to my timeline, you see the green circle with a plus, and let go. And now the clip from my source monitor has replaced the clip in my timeline. If you want to adjust the volume of all clips on a track, instead of adjusting the volume of each track individually, come over to where it says Track Keyframes and select Volume. Now the volume is one band across all tracks, and you can adjust your volume like this. If you want to set the gain to the entire track, hit G, and instead of hitting Set Gain to, which will increase the audio to even the loudest parts of the track and possibly cause clipping, click Normalize Max Peak, say to -3, and now you won't have any clipping along the track. The max peak will be -3 dB. Sometimes you want to import a 4K clip into a 1080p timeline. If you do, notice that you have to scale it down every time. You usually have to get in your effects control and scale it down. Well, you can have Premiere Pro do it for you every time automatically. You can come up to your preferences and come to media, and right here where it says default media scaling, select set to frame size and say OK. Now when you drop your 4K clip into your 1080p timeline, it's already sized for you. You don't have to scale it down. Sometimes finding keyframes in the effects control can be difficult if you have a lot of effects and the panel has to scroll a lot. But if you come down here to the filter icon and select Show Only Keyframe Properties, now you're only going to see where the keyframes are located. Here's another way to improve your workflow. If you have a lot of clips and you want to organize them better, create a sequence, then all the clips that you want to work with, drag them all onto a timeline, and then drag that timeline in between your program monitor and your main sequence, just like this. So now up here at the top, you have all your clips, and you can go through them and pick which ones you want to use and just drag it down to your main timeline. This is called pancake editing. Sometimes you'll notice popping in the audio in between clips. What you can do is add a short fade in and fade out transition on an audio clip. First, go into your preferences and go down to timeline. Go to where it says audio transition default duration and put that to whatever your liking is. I have 0.25, say OK. Then select all your audio in your timeline and hit Shift Command D, and now you're going to see in between all of your clips, there is now a fade in, fade out transition. Sometimes you may want to change the font in all the text layers in your project. To do that, come up to Graphics and Titles, down to Replace Fonts in Project. Select the font that you want to replace and find a new font that you want to use. Select that font and say OK. And now your font is changed on all the text layers in your project. Now this next tip, you may find this useful. Depending on where you have your source patching, you can drag a clip from your program panel onto your source monitor, and you can see that you can make all these different kinds of inserts, replace, overwrite, insert after. So different positions you can place this clip just by dragging from your program panel to your source monitor. So I'll let go there, and you can see that you inserted that clip before. Another helpful tip, if you've found that you have lost your playhead or you don't know where it's at, you can come up to keyboard shortcuts, and down here search for playhead to cursor, and right here under panels, timeline panel, move playhead to cursor. Now I put this shortcut, I've made it an F9. So now what I can do is come back to my timeline, and on my keyboard I'm going to hit function F9, and there's my playhead that came back to my cursor. Another tip, if you want to get back to the beginning of your timeline, hit Shift and I. There I'm at the beginning of my timeline. Then Shift O will take me to the very end of my sequence. Another way to quickly navigate to your panels, if you hit Shift 1, there's your project panel. Shift 2 is your source monitor. Shift 3 will be your timeline. Shift 4 is your program monitor. Now, if you want a full screen version of, say, your timeline, hit Shift 3, then hit the tilde key. Your timeline now displays in full screen. Hit tilde again to go back to your normal display of your timeline. We hope you find these Premiere Pro tips useful and that they help you improve your editing workflow. If you have any questions or want to see more tutorials like this, let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more video editing tips and tricks. Remember, it's never too late to learn. Thanks for watching.